How we doing? We are back on the live stream. It is a hot, twisted garbanzo bean earth, as I'm sure so many of you are aware. So, as the world burns to the literal ground, I figured I would come on and play the proverbial violin while we berg it up and sink to the bottom of the sea. So glad that my push notifications are back here on the Instagram. Thanks everybody for being here. Tickle my bag. What's going on, Ray? How you doing? Yo, blink twice, everybody, if you need help. The world is trash. Everything's on fire. What's happening in New York? The diaper rules are falling apart right in front of everybody's face. And nobody cares. The world is trash. Thanks for being here. Gonna get back into these lives a few more times now that I'm not being suppressed. Look at that. What a beautiful number. Wow. Could you believe it? Could you believe it, Larry? Just a couple hundred folks just gathering here while I take your bag, twist it, put it in a knot, and blast it right through your brown eye. Somebody DM'd me the other day or commented or something, and they're like, what's a tickle my bag? They're like, somebody fill me in. And I'm just like, what? It's like, what do you mean? Like, I don't know, like read in between the lines. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm going to tickle your bag and stuff it in your balloon knot. And they're like, what's a bag? It's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Figure it out. No offense. Invariably, that person will be watching right now and they'll be like, unfollow. He's so mean. Oh, and despite me repeatedly asking 700 times for people to stop forwarding me videos and tagging me in upside down grainy snuff films from a person that's what he's got like his glasses on, like one of the glasses is foggy, one of the lenses is foggy, the other one's it's like off juxtaposition. He's got like weird, creepy things in the background of his office, like the lighting is dark, the audio is weird. He's like sideways, he's like in a crispity crackly snuff film, and he's like, I have super top secret intel. And they're like, oh, they'll be like, it'd be really great if you could share it, Bobby. And I'm like, who is this? I'm like, first of all, I don't know who you are. Second of all, I don't know who this person is. And like 10 seconds into the video, they're like, Pelosi is a time traveling, upside down, shape shifting lizard person. And I'm like, stop tagging me. It's just like, if you guys knew how many people I've restricted and blocked by now, nobody would be messaging me anything. It's like, I really appreciate the DMs. I read all of them, but people will just like repeatedly tag me in these things that have nothing to do with anything. Or they'll DM me and they're like, where are you from originally? I'm like, yo, watch the 700 pieces of content that I have. I don't know. What do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even understand. Like people, like, I wish people had a little bit more self-awareness. It's like, imagine if like you were at like a conference and I was just like on the stage and I walked off the stage and there was like a line of 10 people that like wanted to say something to me. Not that I'm anything special. I'm just saying, picture the situation. Then they'll walk up and they're like, where are you from? It's like, what? It's just like, just say what you have to say. And they're just like, oh, they're like, oh, or they'll like ask me like they'll ask me a Googleable question. And I'm like, yo, like, what? Or they'll be like, my cousin's best friend's roommate's landlord is running for city council in Israel. And I'm like, what? They're like, can you donate to his GoFundMe? I'm just like, no, I don't know who you are, but whatever. Anyways, thanks for being here. Yeah, missed me with that. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to. Somebody's like, really? You're mean, bro. Yeah, so anyhow, if you like what you see here, check me out, bobbysauce.com, tickle my bag, twist my bag, go on there and yell things. Anyways, aside from that, listen, the world is trash. Yo, does anybody else find it extremely concerning how every person is just like a mindless drone stuck in an endless psychosis where just like absolutely zero people ever are telling them that they need to like wear a diaper over their nostrils in a business establishment, yet they walk in and they're just like, and it's like, yo, it's over. It's like, what? Like, didn't you read his email? Like, what do you mean? It's just like, how are you spending your life doing this? I saw a picture today of of the unelected dehydrated owl, Kathy in New York, dehydrated owl 2.0, who has the best necklace. Oh my God, have you seen her necklace? So chic. It's like, this person's a psycho, but whatever. And people are like, oh, Kathy, she's saving us. Thanks, Kath. And Kath is just like, I know it went to the Supreme Court, but I'm going to just fight tooth and nail to go against it. It's like, that's the law, you psychopath. It's just like, what is wrong with you? They love this judicial system until it's not in their favor. They love to put the gigantic boot of the law down on your throat until it doesn't work in their favor. And then there's like, argh! It's like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're a literal psychopath. These people are sick in the head. And they're just like, could you imagine? Like, who else began 2020 just like living, existing, and breathing in this world and was like, you know what's gonna happen? Like, who was just getting like Nostradamus? They're like, people are gonna sue the government for not enforcing tyrannical rules upon them against their will. It's like, what's wrong with you? It's just like, you think you sue the government for not forcing you to do something? What are you, out of your mind? What's wrong with these people? Like, I will ask you one time and one time only, times 1,000. Whom hurt you? Whom hurt you? Like, develop a hobby. Like, what is wrong with you, Larry? Like, literally develop a hobby. Like, take up knitting, you psychopath. They're just like, oh, sir. Like, who's sitting around a table 16 feet away from like people that are only in your household, immediate household, just sitting 20 feet away from each other, just like with a face shield on, just with rubber gloves, ordering food from Uber Eats, all from a different driver, just in case it's contamino, and they're sitting 20 feet away. They're quadruple juiced and boosted, and they're like, what do you guys think we should do Monday? Sue the government for not forcing our kids to put a stinky, soggy diaper on their face for 12 hours? It's like, you're psycho. They have an 8-year-old kid sitting outside on a bucket in silence, eating their food, while some Jabron James, some Pygmalion is just like, good job, kids. You're sick. You're sick in the head. These people are disgusting. You people are so sick. What the hell's wrong with you? Oh God. It's like you're a psychopath. Like, what is wrong? Has anybody been to history class? Like, they have all these. They're like, proclaim that we didn't learn about all these things in history. We didn't learn the true history of America. Dog, you need to learn the true history of human persons of Earth. What the hell's wrong with you? Oh, they're like, govern me, Daddy. Stick a Fouch boost directly in my balloon knot. Twist it sideways. Crank it into my stomach. Pass it up. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, there's people out there with Fouch tattoos. Like, what? Like, who? Like, whom hurt you? Like, your dad loves you. You know what I mean? It's like, your dad loves you. Like, go spend some time with your dad. You know what I mean? Or I don't know. Find a father figure. I'm just saying, what is wrong with you? Whom hurt you internally? They're just like, oh, govern me, youngkin. It's like, what's wrong? Govern me, Hotchel. Stick it in my dirt. I want to comply. It's like, then comply. No one's making you not comply. Put your kid in a plastic bubble and roll him into the school, or don't go to school, or stay home. You freaking psychopath. And they're just like, oh, let's sue the government. What the hell's wrong with you? People are so stupid. Oh my God, they're so dumb. It's like, oh, okay, alrighty. Meanwhile, Cuomo is like in the top of an oak tree, just looking down, just like, whoo, like good thing I'm not in there anymore. As he just like gropes every owl nearby. Him and his brother are just like under a bridge. Who misses Chris Cuomo? Nobody. I'm just saying. I can't wait till Don Lime gets the oust for being such a psycho as well. Who else watched Don Lime on New Year's Eve? Nobody, because he's just a drunk loser. But whatever. They're like, Don Lime, Papa. It's like, can you imagine going to like a party at CNN? It's like Stelter rolls in like a cannonball, or like like that wrecking ball that Miley Cyrus was on. He like tumbles in on this as this wrecking ball, and he's like, misinformation. And like Don Lime is there, hammered, just like trying to be sassy, like thinking that people like him when they just really don't, because he's snurdly. He's like, me and my husband rode a bicycle in New York. Bicycle. We're on the subway. And meanwhile, every person of Earth is like, who cares? Like, no one cares what you do, Lime. And he's just like, the biggest threat to America is white men. And as his husband's like in the background, just like, ugh. It's like, okay, Don, but whatever. Oh, the biggest threat. Okay. All right, Don. And Pooper's like, oh, Pooper takes a shot. Anybody ever watch Anderson Pooper take a shot? He's just like, it's like, yeah, this is how I took a shot when I was 13. Like, this is like adult. This is like an adult man. Adult man. I don't know. It's like, what happened? Like, what did your mom do? I'm just saying, I don't know. What was that artwork on your wall? I don't know. I didn't say it. No one saw it. Whatever. True heads know. True heads know. Somebody's out there just like, yeah, I saw that. It's like, oh, zoom in on the picture. What's on your wall? Like, who has art like that? Okay, Gloria. Like, what did you guys do? Why did Pooper turn out that way? He's just like, it's like, it's tequila. It's not anthrax, you psycho. Like, what's wrong with you? It's not gasoline. He's like, oh God. It's just like, it's like, Pooper, like, get off the air. Don't do that. I'm just saying. And Don Lime just thinks he's funny as he's just like making sassy remarks. And then like Andy from Bravo is like the most base MF on TV. It's like, who would have thunk it? Like most based public figure on CNN is like Andy from Bravo. Andy from Bravo, that I love that guy. To be completely honest with you, he asks like the most crazy questions ever, like with a straight face, and it's like the cameras are rolling and they know it. He'll be like, Jessica, how did you feel when you found out that your husband was unfaithful? And it's just like, it's like the camera's like zoomed in on her eyes, and she's like, oh, I married him because he's a doctor, but it's like, now I'm embarrassed. It's just like, no, your actions were embarrassing alone, but whatever. I'm just saying, whatever. People are like, I love that TV because it makes me not feel like a psycho. It's like, yeah. Anyways. Whoa, where'd it go? See, this is the thing. When I haven't been on here in a while, you get every pathway. You get the Nazca lines and Joey's Depends through my brain. It's like, Andy from Bravo. Like, and what did I just talk about? The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? I don't even know. But I gotta say this though, like while we're on that topic, and then I'll move on, but look, if you're an adult human woman, 40, 50 years old human woman, you got a bunch of Botoxes in your whole face. You'll be in a museum one day, like your body will decay. It'll be like your bones and then all these like pockets of plastic. It's like, you're an adult. Like, you have children. They're like on TV and they're just like, shut the hell up, Jessica. And it's just like, yo, guys, maybe like develop friends you actually like and hang out with them. My husband did something. It's like, why are you guys together? You know what I mean? It's just like, why is this a show? I don't know. My husband's a surgeon. I have a walk-in closet. It's like, okay. I don't know. Some people probably watch those shows. They're just like, what did he just say? Unfollow. Bobby is like he's anti-housewife or whatever. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. The world is garbage. Somebody says, your Got Any Mean Tweets backpack made a great Christmas present. That's great. Yeah, so I think I do find it just really hilarious because I just went on Drudge, which is like usually a repository for like the dripping garbaggio of the earth. But I do find a couple little drips in there. But I do see that Joseph Basement and his and the lifeless body that they're marionetting around in the fake White House set at Amazon Studios or wherever the hell they are. The plane is fake. Oh, it's a green screen, Joe. He's aging. It's not real. Whatever. But the people that run it, Barry, Big Mike, him and Big Mike. Big Mike and Barry, apparently, through the conduit of the empty shell of what once was Joey Basement, the boss at the top of the Joey Basement crime syndicate, they just took away the mandate, whatever, for large businesses, which is hilarious. Who could have seen that one coming? Oh, I don't know, every person alive, but whatever. So all I have to say is, like, here's my big question. Two things. Number one, actually, this is not even a question. This is more of a statement. every single person with real discernment, every single person that's been paying attention up until this point, we will never forget what these people did to us. We will not forget what people said to us. We will not forget what these businesses said. And I will never go to any business that did and or said, because now I know what all of them are. You'll never get my business again. And I think that goes a long way with a lot of other people. So I think a lot of people are in for a reckoning. And if you are a person out there that considers themselves to be entrepreneurial, or a person that wants to create a business for themselves, here's a newsflash. Based businesses, culturally aware businesses that focus on and believe in the truth and freedom will prevail. So if you're thinking about starting a business based around that, there's never been a time in as good as in history as right now to start a business that does the opposite of what these psychopaths have done, because we will not forget what they did and what they did to these kids and what they've done to these people. And I hope that the vast majority of people start to learn that over time, because it's going to be very important and crucial to our future being successful, that people do not forget what people did when their back was up against the wall, because these psychos have ruined so many things that it is remarkable. So never forget. Never forget. Think about it, where you spend your time, where you spend your money, and where you invest your attention. But most importantly, where you invest your time and where you invest your money, because we will not forget what these people did. The next thing is forgetting all the people. We will not forget all the people that sided with them, that willfully and idly stood by while they put all of these ridiculous rules in place that caused hundreds of millions of children to needlessly suffer for nothing, that impeded their ability to learn for the long term, that quite possibly may have affected their entire life, their social development, and so many other things. And here's the newsflash. Here's the saddest part of it all. It's still going. I read an article yesterday that said public schools in Flint, Michigan are going to remain out of the classroom due to a new surge of garbage indefinitely. They don't even know when they're going to come back. You can go to a bar in Florida and literally motorboat particles directly into somebody's strolls and into their eyeballs and into all their holes. You could just blast directly particles right into their holes. But in Michigan, you can't go to school if you're a kid. And you know what the vast majority of children in this school are? Children of color, minorities. And they're just like, learn from home. It's like, okay, all right, all righty. So it's just like, this is a mass punishment spread the world over. And it is so disgusting that all these people, these leaders, these people in power are continuing to allow this to perpetuate. And as much as I like that we have people on our side and blah, 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 that generally agree with us and whatnot, the fact that people are on TV talking about the MFing Ukraine and not the children in America wearing diapers to school all day makes me sick to my stomach. You people should be ashamed of yourself. These people are sick. It's disgusting. Mass psychosis times a million. Absolutely insane. People are so cowardly, spineless, and dumb. It is absolutely disgusting. Yet they're like, oh, and like, look, I'll be the first person to say, like, look, I get it. Everybody's tripling and quadrupling down on Joe calling Peter Ducey a stupid SOB. Who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It's like, cool. He shouldn't have said that. He's a doddering fool. Yeah, they criticize Donnie. I get it. But who cares? Literally, who gives a shit that he said that? No one. I don't care. I could care less if he calls him every name in the book. This guy's not living. Joey Dumpster is not currently residing on the Earth's crust. Who gives a shit if he says that Peter Ducey is an SOB? Nobody. It doesn't matter. There's kids that can't learn in school. There's a guy that was on the table for a freaking heart transplant that they're like, nah, boop, you don't get this. You don't get this juice. You don't comply. You don't comply when I have a boot on your neck. Oh, how about you just go and, I don't know, lose your life, dog, as there's a shortage of all these organs and we're worried about Joe calling Peter Ducey a name. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I get it, but who cares? That is stupid. And as much as I understand why people are leaning in on this is the exact same thing. This is the exact same reason why we get goofed on, why we get straight up clowned left, right, up, and down. They're like, Joe said that. Can you believe that Joe said this? Who cares? Who cares that he said that? Nobody cares that he said that. That's so dumb. The dumbest thing I've ever seen. Oh, wow. He said, who cares? The guy's sitting in front of a microphone. They're like, hot mic. The guy's sitting in front of a microphone. He's in front of the microphone. It's not like the microphone was like in somebody's pocket. It's not like it was from an upside down. There's like a camera dead on him. 15 cameras. Just finished a press conference. Mic is on. If you stood in front of a mic, you don't know if it's on or not. You just assume it's on. A career criminal politician like Joey Basement knows that the mic's always on. The guy's sitting in front of the mic. You think he said that by accident? He probably said it on purpose. Who cares? At the end of the day, none of that stuff matters. And here we are just being like, can you believe Joe said this? Yeah, I can believe it. He said much worse. Who cares? It doesn't matter. There's so many other pressing issues. But whatever, it's like, okay, it's just like, we're just like, can you believe it? It's like Donnie said so many things about these reporters. It doesn't matter. None of these things are the things that actually matter. But everybody is so blinded by catching on and grifting on or grasping on to the sensational hit of the moment. They don't even realize how stupid it is, how they're playing exactly right in to the same hands that they said. They're like, can you believe that Donnie said that Jim Acosta is a terrible person? Yeah, I can, because Jim Acosta is a terrible person, because Jim Acosta was ridiculously rude to Donnie. He's rude to the person that he should be not rude to. I don't care if you're on a power trip, Jim Acosta. You're talking to the leader of the free world, the duly elected leader of the free world. You psycho. You're looking for your 5 minutes of fame. You're a loser, bro. Congratulations. You and Anderson Pooper and Humpty Dumpty can roll down the street and have a nice fun time at your party. You guys are demons, but whatever. And people are just like, oh, can you believe it? It's like, yeah, I don't care what he said. It doesn't matter. None of that stuff matters. Meanwhile, your kid's got a diaper over his breathing hole at school all day, and his and or her or they or them, or they're a cat, they're a giraffe, whatever they are, a hippopotamus, they can't learn. And no one cares about that. I don't even have kids, and I'm out here yelling about kids at school. I don't even have children. And it's just like all these other people do, and they're just like, can you believe that, Joe? Yeah, I can believe that. Who cares? It doesn't matter. But whatever. It's like every single thing is so stupid. And the other thing too is like I've been seeing so many people talking about Canada. And they're like, Canada, the truckers, the whatever. And it's like, yeah, that's amazing. I love that. But like people like relentlessly hammer me to talk about Canada. It's like, dog, number one, I don't live in Canada. Number two, I get it. I'm on it. Everybody's talking about these truckers in Canada. I'm with it. I'm for it. But please stop suggesting to me or telling me that I need to talk about something. I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. That's the thing. It's like if I see other people talking about it, all right, cool. Like they're talking about it. It's being moved. Everyone knows about these truckers in Canada. They're brave. That's awesome. I don't know enough about the situation where I could say that this is a good thing or bad thing. Seems like a good thing to me. I haven't had the chance to research it. Yet I get like inundated with people being like, do this, talk about this. It's like, yeah, but look, there's a lot of problems here. You got to prioritize. I'm with you. I'm with Canada 100%. I love Canada. I think the people of Canada are amazing. So many people follow me from Canada. I'm great on it. I just haven't had a chance to look into it enough. I haven't had a chance to look into it. It seems like it's good. Other people talking about it. Seems great. I will talk about it when I have the chance to. I'm just saying. People are like, do this. It's like, yo, just let me go at the pace that I got to. But whatever. So it's like, I'm all for Canada. I think what the truckers are doing is amazing. The fact that it came to the truckers, though, is embarrassing, in my humble opinion. It's like, yo, like, I'm not trying to throw stones at Canada because the same thing is happening in the U.S., but we all need to stay hyper-focused on what's going on in our stuff, which means, like, it's like, where's the people in Canada talking about it? You know, it's like, let's get Canada talking about it. Let's get influencers in Canada to rise up. Let's get influencers in Canada's voices to be heard. If you were like, hey, this guy in Canada is talking about it, here's a funny video that would be good for you to share or whatever, that's much better than being like, you need to talk about Canada. It's like, you should be talking about Canada. I'm talking about Canada. I'm doing so many other things. Somebody's like, you should care more about the people who follow you. Okay, Rodney, what do you mean? I obviously care about the people who follow me. What are you talking about? Like, I literally give so much of myself to this account, every single DM and message. And it's like, you should care more about the people. It's like, what do you mean? What could I possibly do to care more about the people? It's like, what are you talking about? I'm like constantly doing the best I can, but whatever. Someone will always be dissatisfied. So, okay. Yeah, I guess. So again, like, I'm not trying to downplay the Canada issue. I think that it's great. What I'm trying to say is that, like, people in Canada and people in everything need to be raising their own voices. They should be less worried about telling me what to share and more worried about sharing things that I would want to share. Share something that people want to share. That's the point. Create and output content that talks about what's going on. You need to step up and you need to have your voice heard as well. I like reposting things. I repost things all the time. Make something that's so good that I can't help but repost it. You know what I'm saying? Like, output stuff. People need to output content. You need to be voicing yourself. So it's like, I'm for the Canada game, but it's like, yo, hello. Interesting story. My parents were talking to a friend that they have here in Florida, and they were showing my videos to their friend. And they lived in Canada, and they were like, when we go back to Canada, we're going to show your videos to our daughter because our daughter knows about he sounds like our daughter. He's talking about the same things. This is in Canada. So the guy goes home, tells his daughter about my videos, and she already watches them. How about that? The entire planet, this couple talking with my parents about it, she already follows me. How about that? That's game changer stuff. I just thought that was a pretty awesome story. So if you're that girl, what's up? You're based. Anyhow, somebody said Canadian truckers speak out for ourselves, hiding behind the truckers instead of what? Yeah, it's like, look, I think that I talked about the trucker issue and when that was going to go into effect months ago. I've already covered and discussed that topic, and I think that that's absolutely what needs to happen. The sad part about it is that the truckers got to be the ones that are the ones that are standing up. The truckers got to be the ones that go out and make it happen. It's like, how do we let it get that far? You know, that's the bad part about it. Also, I want to thank everybody, first of all, as well. First of all, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I see some people are starting to follow me. If you don't follow me, please go up here, hit the down arrow and follow me. If you don't already, people on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitch, on Facebook, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you being here. Also, I want to thank everybody that has been reposting and sharing all of my videos and my shorts up to your story. I really appreciate that. I want you all to know this, that the reason that I get so worked up by people tagging me in upside down videos of like a grainy giraffe and like a guy sitting like under a bridge and being like, did you know that Donnie is a time-traveling, shape-shifting gray from the Sumerian? He's a Sumerian? And I'm like, oh, my God. It's like, maybe, but probably not. And they will continue to be like, oh, girl. And like, they'll send me these videos or tag me in them. And I'll literally politely be like, please stop tagging me in videos. And they're like, what? And then they'll just tag me in videos. It's like, you're going to get blocked. I'm going to restrict you. It's rude. And it's disrespectful of my time. So it's like, I read every message. I look at every tag. Like, if you have DM'd me in the past, you know that I answer or respond to or acknowledge almost every single person that DMs me. Do you realize how much time that takes? And then people are like, you don't care. It's like, don't I care? Like this clown sneaker in the Facebook chat. When he was mad that he's like, you should care more about the people. He goes, later, homie, another not following. Get off the meth. Okay, Rodney, I'll get off the meth. All right, Rodney, sick burn. Imagine being an adult human man accusing me of being on meth. It's like, all right, Rodney, like, who hurt you? Like, contact your father. He loves you. Anyways, whatever. That's not nice. But whatever. I'm just saying, it's like, okay, I'm on meth. All right, dude. You think I'd be able to talk like this if I was just on meth? The last guy I saw on meth was like upside down in a bush next to like the stoplight down the street from here. They certainly wouldn't be like live streaming, talking about like political issues and articulating well thought out like words of the day. It's like, get off the meth. It's like, what? Have you ever seen anyone on meth? Like, I personally don't know I don't know, but I imagine it's not like this. What are you talking fast? It's like, yeah, because there's a time limit on these videos. And they're just like, get off the meth. It's like, all right. Like, I bet if I was to do a poll in here, like, who's on meth, me or Rodney, it would be like, Rodney. I don't know. Rodney would win by a landslide, but whatever. It's not about that. I'm not trying to say he's on meth. I'm just saying, don't say I'm on meth. Like, just leave. Just click the X in the corner. No one's going to stop you. No one's going to care. It doesn't matter. Like, this guy's pissed now. Oh, he's like, oh, God. It's like, okay. Everybody always has a criticism. I love when people on Instagram start leaning in to the person that's like on Facebook, because it's like the interaction is not there, but it's over here, and like really the only people that can see it is me, unless you're like on both, which is awesome, but you're probably not. So it's just funny because like I'm just here just being like, ha ha ha. Meanwhile, the people on the other side are just not involved, but whatever. Yeah, so for the 500,000th time, please stop sending me videos without context. Or people will be like, they're like, I know you said not to send any videos, but maybe you didn't see this one. And then they'll send a video, and I'm like, dog. Like, it's sad because I get lots of good videos. Like, 1 out of every 10 is good, and I get hundreds of them. So it used to be a really helpful way of people distributing me things that I could use. But now I'm so tuned in and I'm consuming so much stuff that really most of the time, 90% of what I see is repeats. That I see like a repeat of something that I've already seen 20 times. So it ends up being more of a waste of time. So I just started restricting people. I told people 10 times to not do it, and they still do it. So I just restrict them, and I'll never see your comments again. So it's like, if you want to communicate with me, you'd probably be surprised. I'm probably more communicative than 90% of the people on here. I don't know. I've DM'd a fair amount of larger accounts, even accounts smaller than mine that never respond. I respond to like almost everybody, or acknowledge if they tag me. It's like, don't write me a message that's 7,500 characters long. Like, don't write me an essay. Like, don't contextualize it, but don't tell me your whole life story. They're like, well, I was born in a bridge in Mississippi in 2001, and I'm upside down. I'm riding my hippopotamus, and you should know that truckers. It's like, dude, what? It's like, I want to be engaged, but like people just don't understand. It's like, pretend that you're in a line at a public event and there's 700 people in line. Walk up, say what you got to say. I'll interact with you because I want to engage with you, and then be like, yo, appreciate what you got going on. Like, deuces, I'll talk to you soon. And then that's it. And then cool. And then the next time you message me, I'll want to interact with you. I will interact with you. People will be surprised how many people I actually engage with. And then they'll just be like, oh, why didn't you post my upside down snuff film? It's like, what? Like, I engage with so many people, it's insane. I spend so much time doing that, and people are like, or like they'll say something and I'll respond or acknowledge what they're saying, and then they'll write me a message like this long, and they're like, "Are you mad at me?" It's like, no. Anyways, I'm just looking at the comments. Somebody said, "New merch, get off the meth." It's disrespectful to people on meth. It's true. You replied to my reaction to your video months ago. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. Like, I'm interacting and engaging. And yet sometimes, and people will be like, they're like, are you mad at me that you didn't respond to my essay? They're like, get off the meth, unfollow. I'm like, okay. It's like, all right, dog. I guess whomst are you mad at, you know? What's up, Joanne? Hello from Australia. I can't believe you didn't read my thesis. Yeah, exactly. They're like, what? They're like, this is the essay I used to apply to college. It's like, they're like, why won't you acknowledge me? Unfollow. You're mean. I'm just like, am I? But all right, that seems totally fine. Yo, so two things actually. So I'm gonna go to the Project Veritas event in Miami next Saturday. So if anybody's gonna be there, Project Veritas experience next Saturday in Miami, I will be there. So if you want to come and tickle my bag, don't be weird. I'll be there. I will also be at CPAC, which is in Orlando, which is in February. I will be at CPAC. So if you want to go to CPAC, see you there. I'll be there. Wear a Bobby Sauce t-shirt. That would be cool. So yeah, if you're in the Orlando area, go to CPAC. Somebody said on Facebook, you make me laugh in a world of disgusting leaders that are ruining everybody's lives. And I'm appreciative of that. Agreed. Thank you so much. I'll wear my Bobby Shaw shirt. That's awesome. I have only seen my shirts in the wild once or twice. What's up, Charcuterie Boards by Lydia? I heard CPAC is mandating the juice. I mean, I highly doubt it. And if it does, I will request my refund. I can't imagine that that's possible. I don't know if that was a joke or what, but I can't imagine that that's possible. Somebody has yelled Pompeo at me out in public, which has been cool. Somebody said run for president. All right. I'm not old enough to run for president, actually. You have to be 35. Come to Kauai. That's in Hawaii, and I'm unable to go to Kauai because I'm a second-class citizen, apparently. So I can't do that. I saw it on Getter. Somebody. How could that be possible? There's no way. If there is, then I'll file a visa dispute and get my money back. I doubt it. I can't imagine that that's possible. It's in Orlando. It's in Florida. Thank you, Sandy, on Facebook. Somebody said the Sauce Gettysburg Address was flames. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you guys haven't had a chance to see that, I would highly recommend that you go check that out, the Bobby Sauce Gettysburg Address. I think that that's extremely important. Somebody says, do you have a fake card? Absolutely not. I do not have a fake card. I will never have a fake card because I do not believe in perpetuating this mayhem. And I'm not going to allow them to normalize that. Even though I may want to get into a place, I don't believe that place deserves my money or my attention. My friend is there. My friend is right there and said it's suffocating. Is where? California? People are talking about Canada on Facebook. Look, I'm for Canada. I think that that's important. Also, I want to thank Britt C. Wolf for getting me this book. This just came in the mail the other day. It's called Hard Times Create Strong Men. So I do appreciate that. I think I'm going to have to be a pretty strong man to read this book because it's about 800,000 pages. I'll check back in with you guys in 2029 when I finish it. 537 pages. But thank you, Britt, for sending that. I really appreciate it. Mikey Romero says, I saw you posted the speech on Rumble. Just watched you post it on the live already. That's awesome. I just heard some pops outside. Maybe it was a weapon. That's cool. There's a heated trucking related Canada debate going on on Facebook. But yeah, my biggest video ever was a Canada. There she is. There's Britt right there. She's like, read the book, you idiot. It's like 5 billion pages. But I do appreciate you sending me that. Appreciate it. New York is back on the diapers. What do you mean? Didn't they just take it away today? I thought that was taken away like literally today. The judge was overturned. Oh, the judge grants a stay. Yo, these people are such cowards. Absolutely cowards. The most cowardly people ever. It's absolutely mind-blowing. People are disgusting. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you? They are back on. That's so disgusting. People need to get it together. Dan says on Facebook, I'm not getting the notification like live on lives. Yeah, I mean, this is about an average amount of viewers on Facebook as I would usually have, and the numbers are back up on Instagram because I'm getting my push notifications back. Apparently, I still don't have the badges. The badges I don't get back until supposedly February 2nd, but I don't know. The badges used to be pretty huge, but apparently I can't have those. Look, the thing that's so crazy, and like, I don't know if anybody saw Joe Rogan did a 4-hour podcast with Jordan Peterson today, and I listened to I'm probably about half or maybe 3/4 of the way through it. Somebody says I saw you on YouTube first tonight. That's awesome. Joe Rogan did this podcast with Jordan Peterson today, which was really good. I would recommend people go and check it out. But Jordan Peterson was talking about how like leftists and people that like want to exercise power, specifically people that are talking about like the weather, the weather, you can't even say it because they'll clap you, which should be an alert enough to people. But he was talking about how like this net zero, whatever, green world or whatever, your average person of means is like, okay, like the cost of energy goes up a little bit. It's not that big of a deal. Like gas is a little more expensive, but we're saving the world, whatever. He's like, the people that suffer are all the people at the middle and the bottom of the spectrum. And he's like, people lose their jobs. Energy becomes more expensive. He's like, it causes all of these mental illnesses and people need to go to get psychological help and all this other stuff, suicides and like everything else in between. And he was just talking about how like it's the adverse effect of all these woke policies. And it's just like, it's so sad and disgusting how people don't realize the negative and adverse effects that all of these rules have on everybody. Like one of the things that's so crazy is like, some people don't have the ability to not send their kids to public school. Like they have to send their kids to public school because if they're not at public school, then they got to be homeschooled. They have a job. They need that job, especially like a single parent. If you were like a single parent, a single earner household or whatever, you don't have the option of not sending your kid to school every day. So they send this kid to a public school and they've got a diaper on their face. And it's like, this kid is at extremely low risk. And so is the parent. Should they have made the decisions? And it's like, this is punishing all those people. But all the people that can send their kids to private school, it's not as big of a deal. All the people that can move to Florida, it's not as big of a deal. All the people of means are the ones that don't suffer. It's all the people at the bottom, all the people that they pretend that they want to help. So it's such a tragedy that most people that otherwise would consider themselves to be uninvolved in the basic fundamentals of politics and how the world works, those are all the people that choose to vote for these people or don't vote at all. If they would only realize that the 50% of people that choose not to vote at all, that's the swing. That's the decision that would ultimately change this. But because people don't find it interesting or don't find it cool to pay attention to the happenings of the world because it's negative or bad or they don't like it or whatever, they're like digging their own grave. They're like proverbial grave. And in some cases, literal. But the point is like, if people just understood that the power that they have, the world would be a better place. Like if more people spent 10 minutes a day paying attention to this stuff, it would be obvious. It's like this unelected clown sneaker got overturned by the Supreme Court of New York. And then this goon comes in 5 hours later and puts it back on. And it's like, these people are tyrants. And the fact that most people don't even pay attention is so mind-boggling to me. I don't understand how you could be walking around now in Florida, which is where I live, how you could be walking around in South Florida at 7:00 at night on a Tuesday at a local grocery store that doesn't ask you to do anything. And you walk in there and your kid has a diaper on and you don't have a diaper on, it's like, educate the kid, bro. You're the parent. I saw this kid earlier and like, look, I understand. I get it. Like, I don't have kids, but I get it. If the kid wants to wear the diaper, the kid wears the diaper. I get it. You can't force them. I mean, you can, whatever. But like, that's the whole point of parenting. You're supposed to lead, you know? It's like, inform this kid that he probably doesn't need to do that. Like, I don't know the specific happenings of the kid. I'm just saying it's like, if the kid's really at that much of risk, let him sit in the car, you know? Like, this kid was like 12. This kid's like 12 years old, like 13 years old. And the kid's wearing the diaper and the dad's not. And I'm like, yo, you need to educate this dude to not be doing this, to not be afraid of the oxygen in the freaking air, dude. It's like, hello. Yeah, this kid's wearing the diaper. And I'm like, I'm looking at the dad like, bro, you sit this kid down and be like, yo, I don't know, like, come up with another way to lead him. Be like, you know, all the girls at school aren't going to like you if they can't see your face. You know, like, if you were if I was 13 and my dad told me some stuff like that, I would have been like, all right, then, like, it would have been like off and in the garbage, you know? I would have led with that. It's just like, hello. So I don't know, dude, you know? It's just like the fact that, and then there's like adult men or adult women or whatever, adult theys, hippopotamus, whatever. I identify as a hippopotamus, walking into a grocery store wearing this diaper. And I'm just like, have you even looked into it? It's like, have you looked into it? Because I'm sure some people have, but like, how are you walking in here with a cloth diaper, standing 1 inch away from other people with all this stuff, eating food that was in literally a freaking, in a buffet, and they like served from the buffet? It's like, you're wearing a cloth diaper. Like, what is that doing? I just don't understand that. And it's like, people are like literally allowing this to perpetuate by just being mindfully compliant, because they're like, it makes other people feel comfortable. It's like, you know what makes me feel uncomfortable is you wearing a diaper that doesn't do anything. You allowing this to perpetuate by not taking any sort of stand on it. It's like, what are you afraid of, dude? It's like, just do the most basic amount of research. Just have the most slight and basic amount of discernment. They came straight out and they said, all the scientists that you supposedly trust on CNN and CNBC, like Leanna Wen, who was a literal sneaker of a literal team of clowns. This woman's like, these diapers don't do anything. All right, cool. Straight out of the horse's noose. Like, this lady's the one that's been perpetuating all this stuff since the jump. And she's like, yeah, these don't work. She flat out said it like a week ago. And everybody's still out here with these diapers on. It's like, hello, dude. Like, I thought you were trust the science. It's like, they're saying it now and you don't even care. People are so compliant. People don't even have the most basic amount of fortitude that they can walk into a situation and be like, okay, if somebody looks at me with a crook eye, I just do, I don't know, whatever I want to do and keep living. Just go get your watermelon squares and go get a chicken breast and leave. Just go do. Who cares what they say? Who cares what they look at you at? You're not breaking any law. You're not doing anything. Just ignore them. Who cares who looks at you? Yet, despite all of this information, the people that are suffering the most right now are the kids. How disgusting and savage of a society we are, that we're willing to sacrifice the mental development and the social development of massive amounts of children to theoretically protect people that are 80 years old. These people have had the access to all of the necessary protections for a year now. They've had all the ability to protect themselves however they want, and they can choose where they go or don't go. They can stay 6 feet away or 10 feet away, and not that many of them are in a school. If you're at a school and you're working with thousands of people that are children, all right, bro, no one made you have that job. Find another job. You don't need to do that. And I know that they weaponize that argument right back at you. Like, if you don't want to wear a diaper and have Fauci torpedo into your brown eye every 6 months, then just leave the country. It's like, cool. That's a cool argument. But it's just like, no one's forcing you to be at that job. Yet you're forcing these kids, and you're ruining so many other things, like their, I don't know, mental and social development. Can you imagine how messed up you would be if, when you were 14 or 15 years old, like all of you, I assume, were at some point, and it's like, think about the type of stuff that happened when you were 14 or 15 years old. You see the girl that you have a crush on. You're going to talk to her this year, maybe go in for the kiss, maybe take her to the ring dance, take her to the formal or whatever. And it's like, Formal's canceled. You can't go to her house. She's afraid of you, of giving her the plague. You have to wear a diaper. You can't see her. You can't talk to her at lunch. Where the hell are you supposed to socialize with people? That means that you went from 14 to 16, 17 years old now without the ability to enact on your own bodily healthy functions. You don't even understand what it's like. You're being like forced celibate for years. And it's not even just about being celibate. It's just your ability to socially develop. All the dependence and all the problems that you're creating by having a person that's like right there at it that now is pushed back. And that's just them. Imagine the kids that were 14 years old, 15 years old that wanted to be a high school football star, high school soccer star, a high school athlete, or whatever else. Those people that would have excelled and powered through and learned all of those things that paid dividends to them throughout their entire life. I played high school football. It taught me more about life than I think anything I decided to do in my entire life was playing high school football from freshman to senior year. You hit the weight room, camaraderie, you study the plays, you work real hard, you go to sleep early, you make sure you get the right grades, you win the game if you work really hard, you practice, you hit the weight room, teaches you about health, teaches you discipline, teaches you how to build friendships and have you rely on each other, trust your blind side, everybody protects the QB, protect the whole, run the pattern, like have discipline. All of these things that I still think about to this day that benefit me 20 years later, that these kids have all been robbed of, and nobody even cares. It's like if I was a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, I don't even know what the planet is. But by the time I had a chance to understand the most basic fundamentals of life, I think that people have to walk around with a duckbill cone over their face. I don't even know what a smile looks like. In the first 6 months that I went to the gym after they finally opened up here in Florida, I couldn't tell if the girl at the counter at the gym hated me or not, because I would walk in, I'd have my headphones on. I would usually just smile at her or smile at him, be like, "Hey, how's it going?" The amount of in non-communication that exists when they're diapered and you're diapered, it was like this dreary cloud that hung over the entire experience where you don't know what any person is thinking. All of the social cues are all gone because of this diaper. It's like, imagine if you were so fragile that you were 14, 15, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, where those types of things you were just developing and understanding for the first time. Yet when I went into that gym, I was just like, yo, this is crazy. Like, this is such an awkward, terrible, dark place. And now I can go in there and I smile at them. And it's like the rapport is improved, the relationships improved. And you can't even talk to them because I can't even hear them because you're like, you can't even tell if they want to talk to you because you can't see the emotion on their face. It's disgusting. And people are still like sitting at home wearing face shields and double diapering to play like Monopoly with the people that live in their own house. It's like you're sick. It's like, pay more attention. Thank you, Thomas, on YouTube for the generous donation. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Thomas. So it's like people are sick, and it's so sad. And it's like the people that are homeschooling, which I saw Tito had just mentioned, it's like, yeah, that's like the only option. But there's a lot of people that don't have the money or resources or ability to homeschool, and those people are all hung out to dry. But nobody cares. And it's just like, guys, this is like, it's over. It's done, been over. And it's like, I just like what I titled this video, because on Facebook and YouTube, I have to title it. I said, will anybody learn from being hustled? Like, every single person in the world is getting shaken down and hustled, like, to a massive degree. Like, the shakedown is so huge. And it's like, if people don't realize that they're being hustled, right now in all of this stuff, they're never going to be able to identify it in the future. So it's like, bro, like, we are being bamboozled and hustled. It's gone on for 2 years. It's never been more obvious than it's been right now that everyone's getting gassed, and no one even, and people are still not paying attention. It's like the science is unequivocal. All of the data is out. People are marching around the entire world. There's protests in every major city in the world. Yet people still can't seem to figure out, people still can't seem to figure out that they're getting bamboozled. And it's like, guys, this is so obvious. Someone said on Facebook, my son was in his senior year, March of 2020. Schools closed, denied a prom, denied graduation, and all the senior events. That was a huge moment in life, all those senior events. It's sad. All I have to say is that, like, if I was a teacher and I got fired, you better be creating like the best. People need to like start realizing that we need to come back to like the core essence of what America was founded on, which is like like self-enterprise, self-preservation. It's like if I was a teacher, I would be figuring out how to homeschool kids at somebody's house or my own house and running classes on my own. And I'd make way more money than I would have ever made in the classroom. And I'd be the only person that they were accountable to, and you would destroy it. You would do so well, and the world would be a better place. And sooner or later, people would realize that the way that people vote with their feet, what you do with your money, and where you send your kids would change the way that this stuff happened. And sooner or later, those people would lose their jobs. The tide would change, and then those schools would be saved. But instead, people are just like, meh. It's like, okay, but whatever. I think I'm gonna get booted off here in like 5 minutes. I have a call that I got to do in 20 minutes, but if I get booted in 5 minutes, then I'll let it go. So just a heads up that I might get popped here in a minute. I don't know. I don't know if the gram is still limiting me to an hour. But if they do, I'll let you know a minute before. So just a heads up. Does anybody else have any questions while I'm on here? Thank you for the people that have been sending in donations and stuff. I saw somebody just try to send on PayPal. I appreciate that. And thank you, Thomas, on YouTube for the donation. I really appreciate it. And thanks for everybody that's been buying stuff on bobbysauce.com. I appreciate that as well. I'm in the plans for this year. Tito, I can't even use my live. Yeah. They definitely don't. They definitely didn't give me any circulation, unfortunately. Patreon, Zoom. I would like to do some more stuff on the Patreon, but I'm interested so much in the distribution that I want everybody to get what I'm doing. I don't want to hide anything behind a paywall. People that subscribe on Patreon, I really appreciate them. And like, I have an open dialogue with everybody that's in there. But I don't like the idea of hiding things behind the paywall because I want everybody to be able to consume everything that I make. So the people that are on Patreon, I really appreciate them because they purely and simply just want to support. So I really appreciate those people so much. Would love you to chat with Maria Z. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I can't visit my country because I don't. Thanks, Chooks. Appreciate it, bro. Glad to be back. The fact that they've given me back the push notifications is huge. I'm really appreciate that. I need you to get over to Cloud Hub. Cloud Hub. I don't know anything about that. Cloud Hub, is that what it's called, or Cloud Hub? Bring back Crete Sacks. Yeah, I will make a Cloud Hub. I don't know anything about it, but I will join it because I have a bunch of accounts. My 72 face diaperless mother loves you. Nice. Can't mention Tito in the comments, dude. Yeah, people do not like when you say things that they don't like. So he said Anomaly and Sauce Stream would be legendary. Yeah, I have gone on with Anomaly a couple times. I love talking to him. Dude is hyper intelligent. Nice. All right, Tito, I will jump on there. You will be seeing me there. I'm gonna make an account right now. I'll start putting my content up there. The thing that I find so crazy is like based on my understanding of the internet, I generally feel like no space is a free space, and I'll tell you why. The internet has the ability to crawl and search and index data at a rate never before seen in human history. And in the event that you were to write a piece of content on a certain site, other sites could theoretically weigh what you say there as in the risk profile of what you are on these other platforms. So even though it may not be a censored platform, they could take into consideration the things that are said and distributed on those platforms and then weaponize them against you, or put it in your kind of like your weighted social score on another place. I'm not going to allow it to not have me engage there, but we still have to be careful and cognizant of the things that we do post wherever they are, because there's ways for them to index them. If we're on CloutHub, let's just use that as an example, and you're saying X, Y, or Z, somebody at here or wherever this video is consumed could watch that and say the risk profile for Bobby Sauce is that he's talking about X, Y, and Z over here. Therefore, he may pose a future risk here. Let's downgrade or downweight the distribution of his content on this platform because of the things that are being said on this other platform. I'm not saying that it's being limited, but it certainly is a high probability. Considering my understanding of the internet, that would be my biggest concern, is that there really is no truly free space in the sense that it couldn't come back to you in some other spot. So something to keep in mind. But I will get on there. I'm making my account right now. Somebody said Truth Social. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. I hope it does. I don't have an iPhone, so we'll have to see if I can even use it. Stop drinking water from a bottle. Okay. Oh, this is pretty cool. I'm on this CloutHub now. All right, my handle on CloutHub, if anybody wants to go follow me, my handle on CloutHub is @TakeNaps. So if you want to follow me there, follow me on CloutHub. I just made my account. Yeah, Biggie's doing well. Yeah, Biggie is doing well. Yo, you know what's crazy? This is kind of a weird, interesting story. It looks like I may not be getting limited here. I don't know, but yesterday I leave my house in the middle of the day. It was like 3 o'clock. I was going to go to the gym. It was like sunny outside. I walk on my front porch and there was a duck walking around in the grass in my front yard. I've seen ducks in the neighborhood and whatnot, but I actually recognized this particular duck because she had this wing that was like kind of off to the side. Anyways, so I saw this duck that I actually recognized because I've been walking around the neighborhood a lot lately, and I saw this duck and I'm like, oh, that's the duck with the wing. Anyhow, I saw this duck in the front yard, and she was looking like kind of like she was struggling, kind of like hobbling around and looking weird. And I'm like, what is wrong with this duck right now? I don't know duck science, even though I do identify as a duck. So I get this duck some water, and I was like, maybe the duck wants some water. So I set out a bowl of water for this duck. The duck starts drinking the water. We had a moment. The duck is like chilling, drinking the water, just hanging out there. And I'm like, all right, cool. I get a phone call. I'm texting or something. All of a sudden, the duck is gone. No duck. I was like, all right. So I leave the bucket of water there. I was like, maybe the duck will come back, get the water later. My friend comes over. We go to dinner. I come back from dinner at 9 o'clock, and the duck is sitting underneath the palm tree in my front yard, just sitting there. The duck was dead. So the last interaction that this duck maybe had, whatever, this duck came to my house. I gave it some water. I don't know what happened next, but like over the next couple of hours, maybe it went and said its goodbyes, whatever. And then this duck came over to my house to die under my palm tree. Isn't that weird? It's a crazy story. It's like, what? So anyways, that's the story. And I was like, how does that happen? So when I was walking last night, I saw some other ducks, and I feel like they knew. Like they came up to me and they were like, thanks. It was very weird. But I don't know what happened. I guess it died of old age. Maybe it got in a fight with a cat. There's lots of stray cats around. I don't know. But anyways, this duck died in the front yard. And I was like, what? So there was just a dead duck there. I'm like, that's pretty sad. But anyways, the duck came and drank some water. I almost posted it on my story yesterday, but I was like, is this engaging enough content? Because it wasn't like doing duck things. It was just like walking around. And it wasn't like, but anyways. People are saying water from a plastic bottle isn't safe. Yeah, I mean, I don't drink these that often. But the water that I have in my water machine is in a big 5-gallon plastic bottle. I think drinking Florida spring water, natural spring water, is healthier than drinking the garbage that comes out of my sink, my tap. So thanks. Yeah, I mean, I get it with the water. I mean, I usually don't drink out of water like that. But did I give the duck water from a plastic bottle? No, I did not. Teachers for Truth. Her stories are lit. Go follow her. Yeah, I already follow her. She is extremely on point. Parents are going ham at the meeting. Good. They should go ham. They need to be going ham. That's what we need. People going ham. Brandy said they say it's spring water in that water bottle. I doubt it. Ew. It's getting kind of dicey on Facebook right now. Truckers in Canada. Did you ever think my platform would get this big? I mean, I thought that it would get there one day, but I didn't think it would happen this fast. No. I definitely did not think it would happen this fast. I didn't really know how big it would get. I just always hoped that it would, but I wasn't thinking, I wasn't just assuming that it would. So, but I certainly am thankful for it and all the great people that I've had a chance to meet and interact with as a result of it. It's been a really fun and amazing experience. Somebody said time to buy crypto. Yeah, I mean, if that's your thing, I'm not big into the crypto space. I don't own any crypto at this moment. When's my next speaking gig? I don't know. Good question. Hopefully soon. Hey, I have one follower on CloutHub. It's Tito. Tito is my only follower. Hell yeah. All right, y'all. Go on CloutHub and follow me at Take Naps. Thank you, Pleeman fan. Yo, this is really interesting, people. So I've been on here for an hour and 7 minutes, and it looks like the gram is letting me go back. This is like back in the day, like OG sauce time, which is when I was able to talk for hours at a time and really go into it. So I'm excited. I'm excited that the push notifications are back and that I'm able to reach so many people. I really appreciate it. I'm going to be doing some more. I have a cool live planned with my friend that's starting a merchandise line that I'm going to do probably later this week. So I'm excited. This is going to be good. So whoever wants to go follow me on CloutHub, please go and do that. I am on CloutHub, by the way. And if you want me to speak at an event, somebody let me know because I am down to literally clown. Somebody said on Facebook, do you see a light at the end of the tunnel for all that's happened in the last 2 years? Yes. I believe in duality. I believe in yin and yang. I think that this was necessary in order for the good to rise up. So I think that ultimately we will prevail through this, and lots of good things will happen because of it. So I remain optimistic, but I think that like we are making headway because they're getting so insane that hopefully people are starting to realize how preposterous it is. Plus, like, it's no fun to just believe that everything is screwed. I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, everything's toast. Like we're never going to, we can't do anything ever. Just doesn't seem to me like that's a great outlook. So So yeah, I believe that it absolutely things can change, and I think that they ultimately will, so long as we keep like pushing. Somebody says you aren't so brave at all. What? I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what she's talking about. You should send the duck to Duck Commander. Okay. I love how people are still referencing Rodney. That's pretty funny. They're just like Rodney. Good times. So I see. Wisconsin is recalling electors. Oof. Who knows what will happen, but I guess we'll see. So I have to go. I have to jump on a call in 10 minutes, but I'm really glad that I'm able to reach so many people again. I'm glad to be back doing the lives. I really do appreciate it. So big thank you to Thomas Plant on YouTube for the donation. Thomas, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I've seen you make donations multiple times, so thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you to Lorraine for the PayPal donation. I really appreciate that. Thanks to everybody that watched, for everybody that's been sharing. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for your time. Repost my reels from today if you can. If you don't already follow me, in my Instagram bio link on Instagram and on Facebook is my link tree. In my link tree, it has everything. It has my address if you want to send me stuff. It has my Patreon. It has YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Getter, Twitter, Telegram, all of the things. So if you don't follow me everywhere, the best way to stay in touch with what's going on is to follow me everywhere. Twitter, Getter, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, the whole thing, and Telegram. So thank you guys so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Go watch the Bobby Sauce Gettysburg Address if you haven't seen it already. I appreciate you guys so much. And thank you so much for all of the shares and all of the love. And thank you to everyone that's been buying stuff on bobbysauce.com. I really do appreciate it. And thank you all for the donations. I really do appreciate it. It helps keep the channel going. So share what you can and post it to your story. Tag me. Write something that it made you think about, something that made you feel, and get more people to the channel. I'm almost to 100,000 on Instagram. That's pretty crazy. I know a lot of you guys have been here since the start, and I want you to know how much I appreciate you. So thank you guys so much. I will see you